Supersonic is the most popular insane demon in the whole of Geometry Dash. I beat it roughly about a year ago, and ever since then I've wondered, how hard do I think this level is? So in this video, I'm going to show you my opinion on how hard I think Supersonic is. Now for the ratings, I'll be using the in-game demon system with a little bit of flair to show what tier of that difficulty is, and let's get straight into it. This shit part is pretty daunting when you first get into the level, but after you've practiced it a bit, you pass it 99 times out of 100. The coin, however, is the hardest in the whole level. Except for the little bits of memory thrown around in this part. This wave is very straightforward, and again, after you learn it, you pass it every single attempt. Now this is when the levels start to get a little bit difficult. There's a whole lot of memory involved that even after playing it 15,000 times, I still sometimes forget how to do. The timing's also very funky as well. One of the harder sections of this level. In my opinion, this is the easiest part of the level by far. I don't think there's a single timing in this whole part, and the memory is very, very easy. I think I sight read this whole part on my first ever attempt of the level, so very easy. Thought point out, no, you do not have to do the ball part like that. I just want to do it because I think it's funny. Excluding that, the whole part is fairly easy. There's a few awkward timings, but then the last 3 clicks are very, very hard, and they used to get me all the time, but eventually they do get consistent eventually. This wave always used to kill me as well, but once you get a consistent click pan for it, it gets very consistent, excluding this one release. Other than that, there's a pretty easy coin, but the whole level pales in comparison to this next part. By far the hardest part of Supersonic. Every single click and release and jump in this part is insanely difficult, especially when you're just getting started. This is also the longest part of the level and is very daunting when you're first getting into it. But believe it or not, this part also gets very consistent. Now hear me out, to the average viewer, this part looks insane, potentially the hardest part of the level, but once you learn it, at least for me, the easiest section of the whole level. Once you learn to align yourself in the center of the cube portal, and then immediately jump off the slopes, making it very consistent, you do it every attempt. This still looks and feels easier, but it's way more buggy. Almost every single click in this section can randomly break and send you flying off randomly, especially the final clicks, which greatly affect the next transition, which is G-Boy. The transition has been said multiple times by many people to be potentially the worst transition in any insane demon ever. When I was playing this, I died there around 25 times from 0, which got very infuriating very quickly. It feels luck based all the time, and even if you manage to do it, you'll still be unable to fully be able to do the next part of gameplay. Very easy wave part, very straightforward, nothing much to say about it except there is another coin, I think the easiest coin in the whole level. It looks easy, but promise me, it's even easier than it looks. This rating may also look a little bit low, but learning this part, this is the hardest part to learn the level by far. It took me a few days to learn, but once you learn it, do it every time without a sweat. When you're playing it from 0, this is probably the easiest part of the level. Every click in here is a buffer click, and you already know where you're going. Now the level starts to ramp up in difficulty again, with very quick timings and jumping around the place with really confusing gameplay, a lot of awkward timings as well. Supersonic has a surprisingly hard ending that many people die to, which doesn't help because of This next ship part, I was lucky enough to not die here. I've seen many people have died here before. The way you flow around the ship is very confusing and awkward, especially with all the gravity portals and the invisible saws. Very difficult ending for a pretty difficult level. And that's the whole of Supersonic rated by difficulty. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when every single upload is. Check out some of the other videos I've made rating how hard levels are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.